The first thing you do on your turn is draw a card from the wilderness deck up there, and that's going to determine what the bad guys do on their turn. So in this case, we have a red card and a brown terrain on the bottom where you see the goblins. So this means that red enemies spawn on all adjacent brown terrains. So we're going to put those two goblins on the map, and now we get to choose where to move to. And this is the type of game where when we move somewhere, we reveal more of the map. So our first choice is the craft, where we get to combine cards of one color and make them one stronger card. The next choice that we have right next to it is the haggle. So on a haggle marker, you get to discard two cards of different colors and get an item or coins in exchange. And the third option is forage. That would just mean we take two cards into our hand. Okay, so we decide that we're going to go to the haggle because we also have a quest. And that quest means we need to put a marker on 4 plains territories. So that's a plain on that tile. So we put the marker on. And we can discard 2 cards. But first let's explore the map, see what's around us. So we've got a mountain with a forage symbol, another forage symbol, and another haggle. For the end of the game, it's going to be kind of important to know where, which areas are where. But what I'm explaining here in the video is that when we discard cards, we can either get money or items, or if you want, you can always choose to not do anything. And that would just heal you, and you'd be able to spend the money that you already have. But right now, since we don't have any money, I decided to just put those cards down, and it's a new turn. So now we see again, it's a red card with a brown terrain. So goblins would spawn on brown terrains, but we don't have any around us. It's only yellow and green. And the portal, but the portal in this case doesn't spawn any enemies, so it's pretty safe. So we're moving up, exploring, and we found another forage, a craft, and up there we can see the first magic altar. Magic altars, those are what we're looking for in the game. Remember, the point of the game is to find this lost grail, which we find by stepping on those magic altars. So they automatically spawn a bad guy who we would need to defeat in some way. There's several ways to do it. And I decided here to forage, meaning to get 2 cards. And now we have a yellow card. The little boot means yellow moves to brown terrain. You see the terrain on the bottom. Since there is no yellow on the board yet, though, we consider it to be a spawning card. So in this case, yellow spawns on brown terrains. So we put the wolf on there. And we have a lot of low cards in our hand. So I think what we're going to do is move to the haggle again, get rid of some cards, and get either an item or some money in return. We found a lake. Lakes, they just block you. You can't go through them. Okay, so we're choosing what cards to discard. These 2 ones, we won't need them as badly, and we can probably craft that other card into 5. But we've decided to get items. So now we look at the top items and choose one. So one of them is going to give us a larger hand limit, and the other one is going to help us out in combat by blocking. So we're going to lose less health in combat. In this case, I chose the Satchel. So now our hand limit is 5. We can have up to 5 uncrafted cards, so 5 single cards in our hand, and we have 2 spaces for crafted cards. Okay, yellow spawn on yellow terrain, so there's a lot of yellow terrains around us. We spawn 3 wolves. Okay, so we're a bit surrounded, but we are a sorceress, and the sorceress has some special abilities which we will use a bit later. She'll be able to teleport us out of there. But let's see what we choose to do. Okay, we're moving up again to haggle once more. Let's reveal the map. There's some yellow mountains and a green forest. I think all of them with haggles on them. Okay, so we discard 2 cards. And I think we're going to go for the money here. It's a good idea in the earlier part of the game to get money because that's your way of getting upgrades. And you want, in the first part of the game, you want to get as strong as possible so then later you can combat more and win the game. So now we have a green spawning on green. So green are spiders, and we have one adjacent green tile which spawns them. For now, I think we're gonna try and avoid combat because we want to get stronger before we do. Otherwise, if we did want to attack the spider, it would steal our strongest card, and we'd have to attack him with another card. And that doesn't seem like a good idea. We would definitely lose that battle. So right now we're discarding a card in order to use our Dimension Door ability, which allows us to move to any portal, and we can just continue and use our movement from our turn to go and get cards from another forage action. Okay, let's see what's around us. There is the second magic altar. Now again, it will spawn a sentinel on top of it to guard it, and we're going to need to figure out how to beat that sentinel. Okay, so we draw a card. Yellow moves to yellow. Now, whenever we have disputes between where several creatures want to move into an area, we look at the size of the creature and you can see those numbers. So you would look at the highest number would actually have the priority and would be able to go into the area. So in that case, that was the 6 for that wolf. And now these 2 wolves, there's a 4 versus a 2 on the side. And the last one moves up. Okay. So that was the enemy's action. And now we get to move. Let's see where we're going to move. We want to go down, explore a bit more. I'm not sure if we're going to actually do the action because we are almost at our hand limit. We're going to actually rest. So we're going to replenish 1 health point and we can spend our coins. So we have 3 coins and we see that a yellow card is coming in next round. So we spend these 3 coins on an upgrade. We're going to upgrade all of our yellow cards from now on are going to be stronger. So all 4s are going to become 5s, all 3s are going to become 4s, and so on. And let's reveal that map. See what's going on. There's another lake and the sentinel. Okay, I think we've gotten quite a bit stronger if we're able to craft those 2 yellow cards. But first, let's do the action. So wolves move. Yellow moves to yellow. So again, we look at the priority, move them around. And that last wolf on top also needs to move. Okay, so everybody's moved. We don't need to discard because we have a hand limit of 5 now because of the satchel. So we can go and craft. So this is going to be the first time in this game where we choose to take 2 cards and make them into 1 stronger card. Here we reveal the last magic altar and several brown forage hexes. And because we have that quest, we're on a plains territory, so we're going to leave a marker and put the sentinel on top and craft our cards. Okay, so now this is actually a 10 because we have the +1 on all yellow cards as an upgrade, so that's a 5 plus a 5. It's actually a 10. Okay, so now red moves to brown territories because of the boot. So when red move, they actually have an ability. They spawn new goblins where they last were. All creatures, by the way, have abilities, and this is the first one that we're seeing. So they moved and spawned goblins where they were before they moved. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do is probably attack that sentinel pretty soon. Or maybe we're gonna go for the quest. Let's see. Nope, we're gonna go and craft, get ready to fight the sentinel. We didn't want to fight him because we saw that the highest card was a 4 on top of the deck, and monsters actually fight with the same deck that you were getting your cards from. So we're gonna craft that card and wait for that 4 to get into our hand next turn, and hopefully there's a weaker card underneath so that we can attack the sentinel. Yep. So first let's resolve the monster's movement. Red moves to brown. Same thing, he spawns a goblin where he left. So there's that goblin. Goblins are very easy to spawn all over the map, and when all monsters have spawned, they actually get a bonus. But let's see what's going to happen. I think we're going to attack that sentinel with our 10. So that's a yellow 10. And what he has on him, you can see the symbols which show how he attacks. So he attacks with 3 single cards. We are in the safe basically here. So he only has 7. But though he attacks with 3 cards, each one of those is an attack. And we can only block one of the attacks because we have 1 card. So whatever we do, we take 2 damage and lose 2 health points, but we do win the battle. So the battle is 10 versus 7, and we take 2 damage because we weren't able to block all 3 of his attacks. Okay, we get rid of him, and we're going to get 2 coins as a reward for winning that fight. And now that we revealed the first magic altar, we get to see where this grail that we're looking for is. Now we know that it's on a green territory. So it's a good idea to kind of remember where green is on the map, because one of those green tiles is going to have the grail on it, and we're looking for it. That's the one way to win the game. So now we reveal what is on the other side of that altar. And altars, by the way, they're also connected to the portal, and they're connected to each other. So once you uncover the altar, you can use it as a teleport to any other portal. So any other altar or the beginning portal. Now, as you can see, the enemy's cards are in a different discarded in a different deck, and that's because one of the lost conditions of the game is when all of our cards run out. But there's a way to actually get some cards back, and we'll get into that later. But now we see that green spawn on green. So we've got 3 spiders around us, and we should remember that they have green territories underneath them. And if we wanted to fight these monsters, they would draw an extra card if they're next to spiders. That's one of their special abilities. So they are fairly strong. Let's see what we're going to do now. Okay, we decide to move down there and place a quest token. So I think we only need 1 more to finish our quest, and the quest is going to give us a nice reward. Let's explore. Again, some more green territories, and we're not going to forage, we're going to rest. So we move our health marker up a little bit, and we can choose to spend our money. So let's see what we're going to spend it on. We already have yellow cards, which are stronger. I think we've only got 3 coins here, so we'll either make the red card stronger or green. Okay, red it is. So now all of our red cards are worth +1. And we draw a card for the next turn. That's green appear on green. So again, more spiders. And I think that's all of them now on the map. Yep, there's 4 and 2 more coming in. So that's all of the spiders. So now you can see we revealed the hex under the spiders, and that says that all spiders now get +1 card in battle until we defeat at least one of them. And at the same time, that's also valid for sentinels. So if we want to fight a sentinel on top of a magic altar, he's also going to have an extra card. So he's going to have 4 cards until we defeat at least one of the spiders. But here we're going to go and finish our quest. So we placed 4 markers on 4 plains tiles, and we get 2 coins for that. And we get a quest reward. Quest rewards either allow us to build a teleport anywhere we want on the map, or destroy any enemy we wish. So in this case, we're just getting rid of that sentinel because we know that sooner or later we want to get there. It's part of our main quest. And if we can avoid a fight, we're better off doing it. And now we draw a new quest. It's a similar quest. It says we need to place 4 markers on 4 forest territories. So, and we reveal the dragon. Okay, that's the dragon cave, and it immediately spawns the dragon on top of it. The dragon is basically the final boss of the game. If we want to, we can defeat him early, but that would be very hard to do. Again, for him, the green bonus, the 1 card bonus from the spiders would also be added to his hand. But here we decide to rest. And a new turn, we draw a card. Since we're up to our limit, we need to discard 1 card. Let's see what that card is going to be. There's nothing to spawn. There's no green enemies to spawn because they're all on the map already. They would actually move to... we consider spawning cards to be movement cards if all of the enemies are on the map. But in this case, there's no green around them. So they stay where they are. And we discarded a card, and now we get to choose where to move. Now I think here I'm thinking about whether I can attack the dragon. I can see that the top card is a 1, but the dragon still has a lot of cards. He's going to have 1 card for the green. He's going to have a card which he steals from me, so he's going to steal the highest card from my hand. So I'm better off not doing that. Instead, what I want to do is, I think, use my ability again. Let's see. We want to get to that top altar that's unguarded. We still need to step on it to actually reveal the second marker. So we'd use our dimension door and go to the portal. And as our movement action after that, we're going to attack the wolf. Now, wolves get +1 for every wolf that they're next to. So this wolf is actually adjacent to 2 other wolves, so it's going to have +2 to whatever card it has. And it fights with 2 cards, which are considered 1. So that's 1 crafted card, basically what I have. Again, this is going to be a 10 because we have the upgrade, 5 + 5. And he's going to draw 2 cards. I think there's absolutely no way this wolf is going to beat us. But let's see. Yes, he draws 2 fairly weak cards. We could have beaten him anyway with a lower card. But again, he gets that +2. So it's 10 versus 5. We still win the battle. We discard his cards in the enemy discard and discard our own cards in our discard. We get rid of him and we get 1 coin for defeating him. Now, when we win a battle, we can choose whether we want to do the action on the bottom. So now, if we want, we can do the haggle action. So that would mean discarding 2 cards, or we can just rest. We have quite a bit of health left. Those wolves didn't take anything, but I think resting might also be a good idea because we can spend our money and go to max health. So again, we're spending 3 coins and upgrading all of our green cards this time. So now all of our cards, red, yellow, and green, are considered +1. And we draw a card for a new turn. That's green move to brown territories. So all green spiders move to any adjacent to them brown territories. And now that we've moved them all, we get to keep the card. And we go on with our turn. We're going to move in somewhere. I think what we're thinking is we want to get to that altar, but also we want to do our quest. And our quest is to get forests. So we discard 2 cards and haggle. Let's see if we're going to go for an item or for money, we go for 2 coins because we want to upgrade even more so that we're ready to fight the last sentinel and the dragon at the end of the game. But because we're on a forest, we put a marker there. And there's a lot of forest around us, so I think we're going to be able to do this quest. And now, red move to, because of the boot, they move to yellow territories. In this case, they don't have any around them, so they stay in place. And it is our turn again. Okay, we're going to move and make a crafted card. So that's 3 plus 4 plus 2. That is a 9, and we put another marker on that forest. And we explore. Okay, and draw again. So green move to green territories. Let's see if they can. Yep, they can. There's a lot of them. So that moves there. That moves there. And the last one moves into that forest. Okay, let's see what we're going to do. Are we going to reveal the altar now and teleport back, or perhaps work on getting that quest done? Okay, we're going to go for the quest. And if we want, we can forage. We have few cards, so we're going to take the top 2 cards. And a new turn. Yellow spawn on yellow around us. So that's 2 wolves. They're getting stronger now because of their ability when they're adjacent to each other. And I discarded a card. I actually didn't need to discard a card because I have that satchel. And I think I have 2 cards underneath those 2 cards, which you can't see on camera right now. Okay, I am going to move either to the altar or continue trying to get the quest. I only have 1 more marker to place. And if... Okay, so I move to the altar. Let's see where it is. We know that it's on a haggle territory. So it's a green haggle territory. And bad news is we can't see any of them on the map, and the entire map is revealed. So they're somewhere underneath all of the monsters. Okay, so red move to green. And we just decided to discard that card. Again, we didn't have to, but we forgot that we have that satchel in our items. And what are we doing? Oh, we're going to finish that last quest, I guess. We're going to finish it up there so that we can craft. Okay, so we craft these 2 cards, and we're looking very strong. But monsters actually have some immunities, and they're immune to their own color. So you can't fight spiders with green, you can't fight goblins with red, or wolves with yellow. There's some items that let you do that. But for now, we finished our quest, and we get a reward. 2 coins immediately. And we get to choose either a portal somewhere, or again use it to defeat some bad guys. Any bad guys other than the dragon, basically. So I think we're going to go for that other sentinel because it's the strongest one. Or maybe we'll go for some spiders to see some green territories underneath. But no, we go for the sentinel. We get rid of him. We still need to get to that altar to see the final clue as to where our location is. Okay, red move to brown. There's no brown around them, so we just get to keep the card. The bad guys are staying in place. And we need to move. Let's see what we're going to do. Okay, we will use our ability again, I think, which is to, dimension door to get to the portal, which we started out with. So, the ability is discard 1 card, immediately move to the portal, and you still get to move that turn again. So, what we're going to do is fight some goblins, it looks like. Yes, we attack those goblins. What those goblins have is just 2 cards. They do not have any other bonus, and I think we're going to take them out pretty easily. They do have 1/4, but we have +1 on both of those cards, so we actually have a 9. So he gets a 4 and a 3. So again, same thing. We can only block one of those two attacks. And we will lose a health for the other attack, which we don't block. But we do get to remove them. We can do the action on bottom if we want. And we're gonna take a coin, remove their cards, put them back in the monster discard, and put our own in our discard. Now we can forage, meaning get 2 cards, or we can rest and spend some of our money. I think we're gonna rest. Yeah, go back to full health and spend. We've got 5 coins. We have enough to actually get the most expensive upgrade, and that upgrade would make us be able to craft up to 4 cards into 1. So up to now, our limit was just 2 cards into 1. This upgrade is going to be necessary if we want to fight the dragon, because the dragon is really, really strong. Okay, and now we move the wolves. It was yellow, moves to yellow. So let's see how they move. They're basically just going around in a circle. And yep, that was the enemy's turn. And now we can go and reveal the location of the Grail. Where is it? So now we know it's on a plains or a grassland tile. So it's a green grassland with the haggle symbol or the little bag symbol on it. So we know that those spiders probably have green territories underneath them. Spiders like grasslands. And we know that we're going to have to fight the dragon before we actually get the Grail. The way it works is if we uncover where the Grail is, the dragon flies to it. And we can actually go into its cave. And its cave is going to allow us access to those enemy decks. Put them back into our own cards that we get to draw. And now, let's see. We've got yellow spawning. They're not going to spawn. But yeah, the way the dragon works is he flies to the Grail location, but if you go inside of the tile that he's on, all the enemy cards are mixed back into your deck. And remember that the loss conditions for this game are either your deck runs out or you run out of health. So it's really important to not waste too much time or get to that cave. So if we uncover where the Grail is, which is what we're hoping to do with this battle, we lose 1 health point here. If we uncover where the Grail is, the dragon's going to fly there, and we're going to be able to run to his cave and get some extra time to hopefully win the game. Okay, we got a coin, and we discard the goblin. Now we can draw 2 cards or rest, healing that 1 damage that we took. We are going to heal that damage and not get any cards because we have a lot of cards right now. And those spiders are very strong. They would steal your top card, and because of their bonus, because all of them are spawned, have another card and an extra card for being next to another spider. So they're going to have 3 cards in total. Yellow moves to brown, but we can only fight with 1 card, and the sorceress can't actually upgrade to be able to fight with more than 1 card. So we're quite limited as to what we can fight with, and we can't fight spiders with green because they're immune unless we get some kind of item that can help us. So I think for now we're gonna stay away from those spiders because we can only fight them with that 2 or a 3. And even though we have the upgrade, it's not gonna be enough to get 3 cards, 3 of their cards to be higher than them. So let's see what we decide to do. I have a feeling we're gonna use the dimension door again. Yes, we are. So we discard a card. I was supposed to discard it in the other discard. I discarded it in the enemy discard by accident. Oh, I'm fixing that. Okay. So I move into the portal. And now I have another movement if I want. Oh, yeah, I forgot to draw a quest earlier. So I draw one now. And that quest is that we have to use a card valued 8 or more. So it can be a crafted card. When we use our crafted 10 there, which is the 2 green 4s, we'll be able to accomplish that quest. And I actually think I'm gathering up courage to fight the dragon before I actually go for the Grail. So if I beat the final boss before we get to the Grail, that's fine. I don't really see how it's gonna work. I don't know why I decide to go that way. But yeah, we have red move to yellow. And yeah, I'm going to fight the dragon. Just to show you, I guess, how fighting works. Because he's going to use more attacks. He's going to use all of those attacks. He's going to steal the highest card from my hand. In this case, because I have multiple 3s, he's going to choose, or I get to choose which one he takes. Then he's going to have 2 crafted cards, meaning 2 times 2, basically, cards. And then he's going to have that +1 card because all of the spiders are on the board. All of the enemy bonuses are also valid for him. So it's a good idea to actually get rid of at least 1 spider so that the dragon is weaker when we fight him. But it's okay. We decide to use our other ability, the Arcane Blast. Now this ability means that at the end of combat, once all cards have been revealed, if the card on top of the wilderness deck is the same color as any card that we've used in combat, in this case green, we get to add it to our cards to immediately craft it on. So it's basically a 1 in 3 chance of getting higher cards. So I decide to fight the dragon, show you guys how that's done. And the dragon. First, he's going to steal my highest card. I get to choose which one it is. I go with green because there's lots of green enemies around me, and I know that red is useful against them. Green is not. Then he gets 2 crafted cards. So meaning 2 attacks, each of which is 2 cards. So that's a 3 and a 2. I am still better off than him, but not for long. There is that green 4. And another 2, and because of the spider's bonus, he gets another card, so he basically demolished me here. That's going to set me back 3 health points. Okay, now I'm regretting the decision, but at least I got to do my quest. And if that last card, by the way, was green on top of the wilderness deck, I would have been able to add it to my own cards and maybe have been able to beat the dragon, but no. We discard all of his cards separately, and we keep playing. Okay, so now that I lost, I get to run away, basically, to any adjacent square I want, but I do not get to do any action because I lost the fight, so we just start a new turn. Yellow spawn on yellow. And they're going to spawn there. That's the last wolf. So now wolves get an extra card, and the dragon now gets 2 extra cards until we get rid of at least 1 spider or 1 wolf. But we did finish our quest. I'm realizing that now. And we get 2 coins, and we can get rid of a single enemy. Whoever we want. So right now, because we know what we're looking for a green bag on grassland. We'll probably get rid of one of those spiders and try and find that, because if we do, the dragon is going to fly over there and we're going to get some more time, because we're running down. I think we've only got like 3-4 cards left to take from the deck. So let's see, we're going to just choose one at random. And green appear more often on grassland, so it's most likely under one of them. We're not allowed to actually check underneath. So, yeah, let's see what I decide to do. Yeah, I go for the top one just because it's going to be the furthest away. And no, it's not there. That's a forest. We're looking for a grassland. And at least we know that it's somewhere around us. So perhaps if we can clear the path. Here we get a new quest, which means defeat 4 enemies of the same color. It's getting more and more difficult, this game. But see, the game actually, it starts out where you're trying to explore more and not fight as much, but as you can see now, it's becoming basically a bloodbath where you have to fight more and more, and enemies are almost always around you, so there's a large chance that you'll be attacked by enemies. You won't be the only one attacking them. So, okay, I decide to attack this spider. He steals my highest card, in this case a 4. And he's not gonna get a +1 card because we defeated the other spider. And we beat him because we have that 3, which is +1. So it's 4 on 4. The player wins all ties. So we put a quest marker on the spider. We only need to kill 3 more spiders, and we're gonna do the quest. And again, we found another close to what we're looking for, but not it. Again, we're looking for a grassland tile. So now we can discard 2 cards to get an item, and hopefully this item will help us out a bit more, because some items help you out with movement, some of them help you out with, like there's a stamina potion there, it's going to allow us to move more, or the buckler, it's going to allow us to block the lowest enemy card, so it's going to give us more HP, but the buckler is a hand item. We only have space for one of those, so we're going to need to throw away the satchel if we want to take it. But I think it's a good idea to take it because right now we're going to have more battles and we don't actually need as many single cards. We're going to need more crafted cards, but we won't need that much space. So okay, yellow would spawn on yellow. There's none around us. And we're down to very few cards. It looks really bad for us right now. We had forgotten to put those cards back. So we need to get, I guess we just need to Hail Mary to the dragon and hope that we survive. So we go to the forage and we can either regain 1 health. That's all we can do. And discard 4 coins. In this case, we're pretty certain that we've lost the game, but at least we get that hand limit of 5. And we draw. Green moves to brown, and this could be our chance, because we know underneath those green is probably green. Okay, that top one is not it. And now that one is going to move. Again, it is not it. Okay, so this looks like it's going to be the last turn, maybe? Okay. Now, I think what I'm talking about in the video is basically how bad of a situation we're in. I'm discussing whether we can fight the spider. He's going to steal that 4, but we can't actually fight him with any of the other cards because he's immune. But let's see what we're going to do. It takes a while to figure it out. We're talking about teleporting again and then attacking a spider, but again, we know that the outcome of the battle won't be in our favor. And it's around this time when I realize that the top card that we're going to draw next turn is green and is going to a yellow territory. So that's actually going to get that bottom spider down to the yellow territory. So it's going to uncover that territory. And if that territory, if we're very lucky, is the grassland and it's green and it has a haggle action on it, that would mean that the dragon flies immediately to it and we get some more cards so that we can finish the game. Because we're running very low on cards, we draw it. It's the second to last card, and it moves. And yes, that is the tile. So the dragon moves, flies over to keep the grail for himself, uncovering the cave. So if we get to that cave now, we're all good and we can continue the game. Because all of the cards which the enemies have discarded over the game are going to be put back into our deck. And that's actually a mechanism that's going to keep appearing in the game. So whenever, from now on, whenever enemies discard cards, they'll be put back into the dragon's, into the wilderness deck. I actually haven't gotten to the cave yet. Here I drew the last card, I moved, and I started shuffling the cards because I got so excited. And I got so excited that I forgot that I needed to draw another card, and I couldn't, losing the game. But I guess we're gonna count it as a sort of win, just because I did not realize that. I kind of cheated. But here is where I decided to stop the video anyway. So if you like the game, it's free. It is on our website, playerlayer.net. It's also on Board Game Geek. It's a print and play, so you don't actually need to buy anything. All you need to do is cut out all of the pieces, and you're going to need to find just a pawn and several cubes for quests and for your upgrades and health. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the game because we had a ton of fun making it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for making it through for those of you who did. And I'll see you soon. Bye bye.